Democratic Party so white. For big banks, I'm Stroobz. Let's roll.
And all the girlies say I'm pretty fly for a white guy.
So we have, of course, the Democratic Party inching even further to the left as we get to the primaries, 2019, early 2020. You'll start to see the 10 people, 12 person debates out there on the stage, and leading into the November 2020 elections. Everyone has pretty much thrown their name into contention. 18, no less than 18 candidates at last count. Funny aspect, though, in the last few days, it's gotten a little whiter. It's gotten a little less colorful. You had the Kamala Harrises and the Bookers of the world with his buddy T-Bone and the others initially, but now what do you have in the last week? You have two new contenders. Your favorites were probably Biden and Sanders. Those seem to be your odds-on kind of favorites there. Biden had a little hands issue, as you know, a couple weeks ago. Sanders seems to be still a little out of touch with the intersectional element of the Democratic Party. But now you have these two guys. Mayor Pete from South Bend, Indiana, kind of an accomplished guy, a little young, in his mid-30s, just a couple of years off of your Stroobz age here. Accomplished fella with his languages and his academic pedigree and all these other elements. No one's ever gone from mayor to president, though, so he's got a bit of an uphill climb. And Mr. Trump derangement syndrome, Mr. Bay Area leftist, Mr. White male who just chimes on, waxes poetically about the evils of Trump day in and day out, Eric Swalwell. He's thrown his name into the ring as well. So big banks, is it getting a little too white on the Democratic side, or is it a matter of who gives a damn, and we shouldn't really be researching too deeply or looking too deeply into those intersectional aspects about politics?
No, it's so white. I mean, it's white as this piece of paper that's sitting in front of me. But you got to look for the best person who's going to actually do the job, and it's up to the Democratic Party and their caucus to make sure that they get the best person to go against Trump. When it comes to white privilege, and white intersectionality, all these other things they want to throw at us, my man Stroobz has white privilege because we're watching hockey right now, not the NBA goddamn finals. But all jokes aside, I think it's what they want. It's very hypocritical, I do believe. To say that these white men are just taking everything, but yet you can't get a black person up in the top 5.
But you know what? Also, time for the Republicans to probably seize upon this and really get out there and kind of turn a new leaf on their engagement and getting others. You see folks like Owens, and you see others who are trying to engage communities of color, but they probably have a lot more work to do, I would argue.
Well, I'm not trying to be very stereotypical of the community of color, and I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the world, and I don't have a command on the English language as most would like for me to have. But let's be honest, a lot of people in the black community are not really into politics like you and I.
They know they probably learned from a young age. Yeah. The party of JFK, the party of Clinton, the party of Obama, they have D's next to their names. They're not researching the issues adequately or looking at the damage that the Democratic Party has perpetrated and promulgated in black communities, black urban areas for the better part of 5 or 6 decades now.
I can speak my own experience. When I ran for office in D.C., and just talking to the voters, a lot of people don't research the issues. When they saw my sign and the things that I wanted to change, cut this, lower this, reduce this, and it's like, well, I should have voted for you. My sign been sitting in your neighborhood for almost a year, and you didn't take the time to read it, or at least look me up to say, hey, what I'm about.
He was engaged, though. He was out there. He was doing the legwork. He was a foot soldier for sure out there on the campaign trail in November, earlier than November of 2018.
And I can honestly say that I got 1,038 votes that I earned. I really earned
Each vote was earned, absolutely.
But I think the sad part about it, the day of election, when people was actually casting their ballots, who's going to be the next councilman in Ward 5 in D.C., and they come out to see my sign and we speak, they say, I should have, you know,
I didn't even
should've
cast a
voted.
vote.
Yeah.
I didn't even go to the polls.
You know, and that's the sad part because we are not really engaged, and it's unfortunate. You know, the black population just don't research it. They don't get engaged. So right now, what the Democratic Party is, they're just going to blindly just lead them to the polls, and they're going to blindly just pull that lever for all Democrats.
Here's more
to
money
walk out.
for you. More money into the schools. Where's the money going?
Don't know.
We don't know.
No.
But more money in
into
everything
school.
because it's not really coming out of our paychecks, right? It's not coming out of the, So, nevertheless, thank you all for joining us again. If you like these videos, if you think you like this kind of weaving the ideas of race and politics together, and you want to see more of that, please let us know. If you want us to go a different direction, we will comply and will oblige absolutely. So, for Mr.
Big Banks.
I am Stroobz. Thanks again. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.